Hello everyone and welcome back to some rapid action on leeches. As usual, we will play a 10+0 rapid game, and sorry if my voice is a bit hoarse. I seem to have caught something, so I will try to explain my thought process as clearly as possible, but yeah, hopefully it will not hurt you guys too much. So we're facing d4 here, and sometimes I like to play knight to f6, sometimes I like to play d5, sometimes c5. Sorry, that's not a c5, all depending on what my opponent plays. But knight f6 and c5 are the two moves that I will almost always play. So we're inviting d5 if our opponent, feels adventurous. If not, okay, we are facing the London system, obviously. And okay, since I already played c5, I will go all in with queen to b6. Why not? Just put pressure on that b2 pawn, and okay, we'll see what our opponent thinks of this. Does he defend the pawn? Does he maybe try to give it up? Maybe it's a good idea. Okay, so he defends it, which isn't really necessary for whatever reason. Yeah, we're just gonna capture. There's no reason not to capture. Yeah, okay, so he's gonna capture with the queen, and we're gonna go knight to c6. And already we get quite an interesting position. I have a semi-open a file for the rook, and I also have the bishop pair, so does he, and he has a slightly better pawn structure, but I think this is much better than actually playing against the London system. And while I can't be sure, of course, I think this is perfectly fine for black. Like, I think this is really nice for black. Okay, we want to play e5, that's our goal, so we might try something like 94, as he sort of created a little bit of a target there, so he can't really develop the knight. He's gonna have to go back with the bishop, and then we play pawn to e5. I think maybe more precise than... oh no, he will go here. Okay, very interesting. So he does not allow us to play pawn to... That is very interesting. Okay, so we're gonna play pawn to e6, and then move the knight, and then pawn to d5. Probably he just kicks away our knight, which is fine. He gives us a target, and he gives us another target. Very interesting. All right, so we just go back. As interesting position as any. Okay. We're gonna briefly bring the knight to c7. But only briefly, to kick away the bishop. Yeah, it's not winning as much space as I would hope for. Yeah, I mean, let's just castle and we'll see what happens. Okay, so he develops, as of course he should. I'll just castle. He brings a knight in. Not a lot for this knight to do. All of the squares are covered. We're gonna play h6 just to take away this square, and then we're gonna figure out how to go about it. If we will make some sort of a breakthrough with f6. Okay, the rook here isn't all that impressive. Our knight really does a fine job. So b5, while it does kick away the bishop, that's pretty much all it does. So we're not gonna do that. On the other hand, we might play something like b5 followed by b6 followed by bishop to a6. If that's a way of developing the light square bishop. I don't know if it is. Also, he might be considering some knight to d6 action, which will which will actually be very nice for him. So yeah, that might be his plan. All right, so how do we untangle here? This is I thought it's gonna be a pretty simple maneuvering game. Turns out it's getting really tricky to play this. Although we don't really mind the knight on d6, it's not like there's a target for that knight or anything. Yeah, this is quite interesting. Okay, let's put pressure on his bishop, just for fun. Yeah, this is if it's not lost for me already, which it could be with bishop on c8, will not be a fun game to play. I mean, every game is fun to play. It's just that. Okay, so let's get the other knight into the game as well. Nah, doesn't really do all that much. Get the bishop in, something like this. So now if the knight moves, we might have some bishop to b2 action possible, as we really don't care about this bishop. Like if he actually trades the knight for bishop here, I would be very happy about that. So we'll see. We are playing RJ100. Okay, so b4 on the board. And it seems like we've trapped our knight almost, but not really. And that maybe our bishop will be a little bit vulnerable. Huh. Yeah, looks very interesting. Okay, now also the d5 square has been vacated for our own knight. We'll see if we can make something of this. Now maybe this will also be a target at some point. No, he goes knight d6. Okay. We're gonna attack the pawn as it's attackable. And yeah, I mean, this would be great for us. And how does he defend on c3? If he pushes it, he pretty much ruins his entire position. Rook d3. Maybe. Yeah, maybe that. But yeah, but I don't think so. Just bishop b2. Yeah, also will the c3 pawn will fall. So I don't know. Looks horrendous for me, but also, yeah, maybe it's one of those positions that's really bad unless you play, this move and then it's playable. So maybe that's the case. Okay, so he does play c4. Why? Why would he play that? He's thinking, I'm gonna capture the pawn, but I'm still gonna play knight to c3. And yeah, I don't buy this for a second. Because it comes with check. Yeah, if he defends it, we're just gonna capture. I mean, now I can consider a lot of moves here. But I like my bishop here, simply to prevent rook c1. And now bishop captures also isn't that terrible. Yeah, we should consider some moves, definitely. Yeah, knight captures, although it looks like it does a lot of things, doesn't really. Yeah, so I think we capture with the bishop and we are back in business. Capture with the bishop, rook c1. Yeah, we can capture on a2. Yeah, looks to be perfectly fine. So we'll see. We've won a pawn, although Yeah, I mean, he can win it back, maybe, if he decides to give up this knight for this bishop and then capture on d7. But I would be very happy if he did that. And I don't think if it's he can't do it right away because we capture with check. He has to move the rook and then we capture and then the pawn stays alive. So he moves the bishop first, and now I guess we just capture the knight, and that's it. If he captures with the rook for the d7 pawn to remain a weakness, hmm. Is there a tricky move with the knight? Like something like, nah, the rook is defended, that's the problem. So I don't think there's anything better. Yeah, we have to do it. It was a good good bishop, but if he capture, yeah, he will capture with the rook, and now we just go all in, right? And that will be a better game for us. Okay, we're down on time, and he can't really go something like rook c1. We're just gonna check him and win the bishop. While yes, we have this useless bishop on c8, but I think we'll be able to. Okay, what am I missing? What am I missing here? Yeah, okay. He's down 2 pawns, but he does have active pieces. Yeah, we have to figure out how to get this bishop into the game. Otherwise, we're not gonna have a lot of fun here. But also, I mean, it's not easy for him to play moves. So we can easily kick away the rook, just start trading material, and as you know, as material comes off the board, not sure what the point of h4 was. Probably just winning more space, gaining time. But yeah, I don't see any way for him to make problems. Yeah, so on the other hand, it's hard to say how useful this bishop is. I mean, it's not doing anything at the moment. So maybe we don't capture it. Okay, so he goes to stop it. All right. We could challenge it, definitely. Mm. Yeah, of course he's not gonna allow that. I don't see a move other than knight to b4. Yeah, we have to play it. And now he's attacking b6, but we're gonna deal with that once he figures out what to do with the bishop. He still has to be careful about the check. He still has to be careful about knight e4. He still has to be careful about maybe b5 is an option. If I can play b5, he moves the bishop, I capture back, and then start throwing the other b pawn up the board. Also one way to play. And get our bishop into the game and then the rook. So I think it's better for him to prevent that than to. Yeah, it's hard to say. Even if he allowed me this, which I don't know if I would actually do, it's better than to allow maybe to get my pieces into the game. But we'll see. Yeah, okay, so he moves it back. I'm just gonna repeat once to see if he goes back again. But I'm not interested in a draw here. I just want to see if he will repeat. Okay, so he will repeat, but we're not gonna repeat again. I was just checking to see. Uh, Yeah, okay, let's play. Let's play. So at least I trap his rook away from... Okay, I will capture here. I thought maybe he captures the knight instead of messing up his pawn structure, but this is fine. As this is now a target, he can't really move the knight, and we don't even have to worry about d5 because we just play f6. We play f6, capture here, and then the bishop comes into the game. Okay, we're not even gonna waste time here. It's the best way to do it. All right, so he wants to capture the knight, which I'm up for, definitely. Definitely up for that. Yeah, we're gonna go after this pawn. We're gonna go after this pawn. If he captures, we have to capture with this pawn. If we capture with this pawn, then he kind of almost wins the rook, wins the bishop. Not really, because we can move the rook back, but I also want to keep the rook active. Okay, so now this could be annoying. It's a nice move, but yeah, we just capture. So I think we're now completely winning. Whether we will win, we'll see. Yeah, up 2 pawns. I have no idea how I managed this. Okay, so we're just gonna win some squares for our bishop. Can't move it yet, but yeah, something like rook b5. We can trade down. Yeah, okay. Instant trade. I love it. I love it. All right, so do we allow this check? No, we don't. No, we don't. Yeah, if knight here. Okay, so interesting. Interesting, but not interesting enough. The knight isn't really doing anything there. And now, okay, so he missed this check. But even if he didn't, it would still cause him to lose the game. All right, so let's see what went down in this one. This was, yeah, not the cleanest way of handling the London system. Knight f3, bishop f4, okay, I play queen b6, b3. Can be played, doesn't have to be played. I captured, captures, and knight c. Okay, so you could capture on d4. I decided to play knight to c6, and okay, it's not your everyday position, but you can play it. If you guys want, I can even check the database real quickly, like the one that I'm using when I'm preparing games, just to see if this is played or is it played on any reasonable level. Let me just check the order that was used here. All right, so he went with the knight. I went pawn to c5. And okay, the queen to b6 line was played. He played pawn to b3. Yeah, pawn to b3, already a new move. Knight b to d2 is usually played. But as you can see, it's not a mistake or anything. Yeah, equal position. I captured. Okay, so this is the position. c3, I played... yeah, I thought about g6. I decided to go for this because I was expecting bishop to d2, but he played bishop here. And yeah, I don't know why I decided against this. Now that I think about it, I have no idea, because it really does make sense. All right, so he attacked my pieces a little bit. I went into this very, very cramped setup. And the knight to d5, a6. Yeah, up until this point, it's still, the engine says it's dead equal, and that I should play b5. But why? Oh, and just force b4. Okay. Yeah, that's, yeah, see, that's the standard way that you should be thinking. b4, and then if c4, b6, and that's how you get your bishop into the game. Okay, I played pawn to h6, sort of a useful move, but not really. and he decided to prepare knight to d6. He should throw in a knight to d6 right away. Rook goes here, okay, knight here, attacks the bishop, and now bishop here. And see, it says that his position is already winning. He found pawn to b4, but why is it winning? Ah, okay, rook a to b1. Okay, and then what? Ah, rook a to b1, and I don't really have a move. Yeah, I don't think I would play d5 here. I definitely would not play d5 here. But the thing is, if I play knight to d5, then he has this. Okay. He doesn't rush it with c4 like he did in the game. And I still wouldn't play d6. I mean, I would try to figure out a way how to play without playing d6, but I have no idea what I would play here. Yeah. Yeah, it seems like I'm without a move. That's why it's so strong. And if I throw in something like rook to d8, then knight to d6, yeah, I just don't have any moves like king f8, bishop c4. What? Yeah, okay, so he will win a pawn, and his position will just be better. So yeah, that's how you take advantage of this, you know, bad positional play by me. But okay, he went knight to d6 right away, and now he allowed me back into the game, or so I thought. Knight d5. Yeah, knight b5 is obviously very strong for him. He went c4, and now knight to c3, and we're back in the game. Excellent stuff. I played bishop captures on b4, bishop f1. Yeah, now it's 0-0 again. Rook captures. I played rook captures. Yeah, knight to e4, slightly better. Okay, I played rook captures, and now h4. Again, equal. Yeah, like I said, it can be equal, but it really didn't feel like equal playing this because of, you know, my bad bishop. I played knight b4, bishop to f1, okay, knight c6. Yeah, but okay, I got into a difficult position because I chose that weird plan instead of just g6 and bishop g7. I mean, there's no explanation on why I did that. Bishop to f1, I went here, okay, this is all perfectly fine, still a draw, still a draw, still a draw, and he misses it with bishop to b5. I played rook to f5. I found the only winning move, seemingly. And yeah, after that, it was all pretty easy. A simple king and pawn endgame after I, you know, win the knight. So yeah, not the best game, but okay. I liked how I played against the London system, you know, just not letting my opponent play the London. I decide to trade. I get the semi-open h file for my rook, and I had to go for that g6 bishop g7 move, and also that b5 b4 followed by b6, and that's how you free the light square bishop. Also, maybe a theme for you guys to remember if you want to play such a disgusting line and, you know, be passive for the entire game. So yeah, that's the game. Hope you guys enjoyed it. You know, be careful when you play the London system. There is a tutorial on how to play against it, featuring this queen to b6 move. I made it myself. If you haven't seen it, first link in the description below. As usual, you can check 2 of my previous videos here. Thank you for watching, and I will see you soon, continuing to check up on your wonderful suggestions and whatever else happens in the chess world. Thank you all. I will see you soon, and have an excellent rest of your day.